Yo, it's Rachel and Reason. We're finna go over organic nomenclature. I'm finna show y'all how to name some basic molecules. Let's go.
Alright, the first step of being able to write the names of organic compounds is understanding what an organic compound is. So, organic chemistry is the study of molecules or compounds built mainly from carbon and hydrogen atoms, and sometimes a few extras like oxygen and nitrogen. But we're going to be working only with carbon and hydrogens for today. But at its core, organic molecules are mostly carbon chains, and we name them based on what the chain looks like. So, when you're solving these, make sure you take note that these are carbon chains. And then these carbon chains have hydrogen bonds. All right, now the first step to naming a molecule is to find the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. That's called the parent chain. That's because it forms the base of the name, kind of like the molecule's last name or suffix. You might have some side groups or branches hanging off it, but the longest chain always comes first. So first, we're going to need to identify how many carbon atoms there are. So if you see these lines right here, these represent bonds between two atoms. And both of those atoms are carbon atoms. So we have, and at the end of each line are going to be where the carbon atoms are at. So you have right here, right here, right here, and right here. So we can number it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically this signifies that there are 4 carbon atoms in the parent chain. Next, because we have 4 carbon atoms, it's going to determine the name of our organic compound, because depending on the number of carbon atoms you have, you get a certain prefix associated with it. So if we could write it on the side right here, if you only have 1 carbon atom, the prefix associated would be meth. If you only have 2 carbon atoms, the prefix associated would be eth. If you have 3 carbon atoms, the prefix associated would be prot. And 4, that would be but. And basically, depending on the compound class, which is an alkane, you're going to be adding this prefix in front of it. So right now, you see we have 4, so that's going to be but. And because we're dealing with an alkane right here, and this is, you can tell this is an alkane because there are only single bonds. If it was a double bond, that wouldn't be alkane anymore. But because there are no double bonds, there are only single bonds, it's just an alkane, so you can add the prefix but, butane, and you're just going to remove the dash, and that's just going to become butane. So likewise to the first problem, the first step we're going to do is identify the carbons and find the longest chain. Where we can obviously just look at this and see that boom, 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 that's going to be the longest chain. So we can identify this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's where our carbons are going to be located. And we know that this is the prefix to our compound class, which is an alkane because there are only single bonds. We're going to be able to write the base 9 pentane right here. This is because the prefix for 5 carbon atoms is pen. And the prefixes keep going up and up. I'm just going to write in a select few right now. So we know this is going to be our base name. So we're going to circle this. Now, what do we see here?